So let's move on to looking at a perspective from the field. A local BDS provider is going to give us ideas of how it is to work within two different projects, and data does come into so like his analysis. So let me introduce you to Hance Njobelo, who's the founder and managing director of 360 Connect, who are based in Tanzania. And yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this, Hans. You've got some very provocative questions here for the audience as well, in terms of how can we do our work better and join it up, essentially. So over to you, Hans.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Hans, as I was introduced by Mark, and I'm happy to be here. So yeah, from the ground, we have a number of. I would love to share about our approach and things. It's good that I've had an opportunity to hear also from Gina Marie on data and how what are the challenges, but how it was used. But from our end, I will literally love to present what we have been doing for the past few years, engaging with farmers from a different perspective. So, as I was introduced, my name is Hance Njobelo from 360 Connect, a BDS company based in Tanzania, operating in the Southern Highlands, but also cutting across in other regions within the country. I would love to take you through a quick intervention that we normally do with farmers, and that is through the agribusiness clusters. And this was I'll bite a few of examples and results from the BCHOPS project, building an inclusive horticulture business. That was a project funded by EU. It was finalized 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, and a number of learnings were gathered from there. So the approach that we used during the BCHOPS project was purely on facilitating the formation of agribusiness clusters, whereby we facilitated the process of bringing together a number of various actors, including farmers, buyers, but also financial institutions, and a number of other BDS providers, but also other public enablers. May it be the government, but it might be other bodies that with the sense or a need of facilitating different issues within the value chain. And the experience was purely built around farmers and buyers relationship, but also it wasn't only focused on targeting a farmer group or something, but we were looking at a network of farmers or facilitating the development or establishment of a network of farmers that could be linked, or they are already linked with buyers, but facing a number of different challenges. Now, there's where we intervene, bringing solution to those issues and building up by engaging a number of other actors into a constructive kind of conversation to see how best these challenges can be addressed, but at a holistic point of view, whereby each one understand where do they contribute to the problem being where it is, and how best could they, could all as a team provide a solution to such kind of a problem. It was purely an inclusive kind of a business model, whereby everybody's involved in understanding the problem, but also proposing what really works from their perspective, while building an inclusive or a common way of solving issues, but also at the same time preserving the fact that they also have to have something for themselves within the business, so that it becomes it makes a lot of sense for them to be part and parcel of such an arrangement. Now, looking at that, what were we able to achieve? The project was operating in about 5 regions in Tanzania, especially the Southern Highlands. It was Mbeya, Songwe, Njombe, Iringa. Yeah, it was in Sumbawanga. In Katavi. Apologies. So what really worked? It was we were able to. The whole project was able to capture around 500 million loans that went to 220 potato farmers that were based in Kiponzelo cluster that is located in Iringa. But also we saw a crucial shift in the Tanzania Avocado Society, which is an apex organization operating in Tanzania, supporting the avocado farmers to be more coordinated, but also have a voice and how best do they shape the whole industry moving forward. The contracts that were coming in from different buyers and exporters grew for about 48%, and that was mainly because now the society was more coordinated and structured. But also we were able to see a shift also in the pricing. When it comes to the farm organization, 8 farm organizations were matured, and they were able to attract higher prices of their produce. This is basically because they were able to reduce a number of other little add-ons on how these buyers could literally access the fruits by then. So, I mean, we also had a chili value chain that didn't work out, but why they didn't work out was due to a number of reasons, because, I mean, there were also a lot of government issue in relation to the policies and all that. So it was more or less of a national kind of a tragedy rather than a specific area kind of a problem. So, I mean, that was that. Out of all this, it was not just because we facilitated the class and that happened. I think it was a combination of a number of things, coming from what the market demanded by then, but also how best were the farmers ready to act based on what was needed, but also a bit of a leadership from a number of those farm organizations, because, I mean, we only see 8 here, but we work with more than 8 farm organizations. So it was not only based on the facilitation or whatsoever that we trained them and capacity build with them, but it was purely also came from the readiness of those farm organizations to adopt such kind of approaches. Now, from all these, we also came to currently we're working on a different kind of project, dealing with the same farmers but on a different kind of perspective. And this is it's agri-grade, whereby data, as presented by the previous speaker, is what drives decision. Is what we want. I mean, the need beyond what the project is purely on, like, how best do we use data to make a viable decision when it comes to farm organization capacity building. So it's purely on a data-driven capacity building kind of an approach. And we are looking at 4 levels. We work with 25 farm organizations, whereby currently we only have 2 at level 3. The rest lie at level 2 and level 1. What does that even mean? What does that mean? What does that mean in terms of BDS services that we give? What does that mean in terms of financial access to finance, as one of the things that a lot of us are struggling with in the agriculture sector? So what we are trying to do, and what we have been trying to do, it's purely on understanding what these levels mean in terms of farm organization, and how best do we come up with tailor-made capacity building plan based on their maturity level and specific issues that they face, but also specific value chains. Now, with some organization it works, with some it requires more and more intervention, and you're repeating a number of other stuff so that they understand what it means, so that they can capture it from there. And this is also a bit of a struggle at level 1 and the lower level 2. It's a bit of a struggle, because now, yes, you have the data. Yes, you can literally translate the data into what it means, and what does that even mean for an effort to, work hard in some areas so that they can literally move from where they are to another stage. But the question remains the same. What does that mean to them? Now, we can have as much, a lot of data as much as we want, but it will not make sense if these data are not understood or are not appreciated by the users or the human that are within the whole chain, or the whole consortium, or whatsoever that is, or the farm organization itself, so that they can literally act on them to see the real change. So we start by assessing. We also try to make sure that we make sense with them, sit them, try to elaborate to them what the assessment means, what are the results, and what it means to them. But also now we engage them to validate the TAs that we normally come up with. We come out from the assessment and all that, so that for them to decide when do we want to do this, but also aligning with their internal way of doing things, so that we do not, it's not more of what we want, but it's purely of an inclusive or a way of going to solve those kind of problem. Now the issue comes at the 4th act, that people are supposed to act on those information. Now it's what I was saying, level 1 and the lower level 2, we've got a number of issues sometimes on being ready, or the readiness to act. which is a challenge that maybe later we can all discuss and see how best we navigate through that. Now, what
Yeah,
have we learned?
Hans, I'm just going to rush you a little bit.
Okay, great. Now I'm just just one to the last one. So what's the what have we learned from the ABC, now the agri-grade? It's purely the ABC targets on the whole ecosystem. Looking at the volume, the produce traded, the contract signed, the market linkages, and how healthy the partnerships are. But now we're looking at the agri-grade is purely on looking specific into the FOs, looking at the governance and the record keeping of the FO, the financial, the finance readiness, and the access to finance based on the farmer FO maturity, but also the organizational capacity to graduate, resulting into access better market. When you look at all this, the question is the same. I mean, different models work with the same people. Where do we meet? How do we really make it more of a cross-cutting issue rather than everybody working into different direction or different targets? Now I can leave or wind up with a few questions that maybe I thought we can always discuss later. The number one question should be always, where should the professionalization start? Is it at the FO level? Is it at the market level? Or it's a partnership between all of them? And the second one is, if data is a mirror, who holds it up? I mean, who holds it up? In the sense as who decide what it means? Is it the assessor? Is it the BDS? Is it the partners? Is it the farmer? Like across the whole chain, what it means. But also now on the last one is, how do we facilitate collective data-driven sense making across partners and stakeholders? Because now it's not only about what we see as BDSs, but purely farmers have to be on top of it. But what about the financial sector people? Are they ready to look at this and start using them and making sense? I think I'll stop here.
Thanks.
The rest will
Thanks,
will
Hans.
be discussed later. Thank you.
Yeah, no, great points, and connects very well to the first presentation.